The other day, one of my peeps told me that games these days just fucking suck. And while I can attest to games these days being a true masterpiece of cow manure, I don't think all the games, or even most that have come out in recent years, are below subpar. However, I do believe that the gaming landscape as a whole is changing, and what used to be the norm is far behind us, replaced with all the new techs and tricks developers, shareholders, etc. have learned over the years. Just for an example, let's take battle passes, and how almost no one knew what they were before the year 2013, and how now you'll find them in just about every PvP multiplayer game you play, in some new various look or different wording. There are genuinely a lot of studios that still care about the experience their players have, but there are also a lot of studios that want to squeeze every nickel and dime out of your wallet. Games used to be a way to escape, have fun, or to just plainly experience something you can in the real world. And as gaming moved into the mainstream, a lot of companies and corporations knew they could make a pretty penny if they played their cards right. But I just want to elaborate further, because pesky, hefty macro transactions isn't the only change gaming has seen. Oh no, the iceberg is huge, but I'm just here to talk about the tip of it. The iceberg, that is. Where do I even start? I mean, it gets hefty, bro. You know what? How about the fact that nobody owns their games anymore? Well, of course, besides the people who go to GameStop and still purchase discs. Those few people. But for the majority of casual gamers around the world, they purchase their games through an online shopping place for convenience sake, or have a selection of games for a period of time via subscription services. I don't have to tell you the inconvenience of having a small amount of games for a limited time. I'm sure most of you who have these services know the pain well. But for the others who purchase their games on Steam, the PlayStation Store, Microsoft Store, or whatever, if you don't know, you must either live under a rock or you are living the way I wish I could live, oblivious to all the bullshit that's going on around me. But on a more serious note, if you purchased a game from any of these shopping places, you actually purchased a license agreement. These are two totally different things. A game license agreement is a legal contract between game developers, publishers, and sometimes sports organizations, FIFA, WWE, whatever, depending on the game. If you're still a little foggy about this whole thing, let me try my best to clear it up for you. You come out of pocket like 70 USD, the average price of games these days, just to purchase a license agreement between the game developers and you. This contract means you can play their game as long as you follow the rules behind the agreement. If you end up breaking one of these rules, the game company can legally revoke the license at any time, meaning you will no longer have access to said game on the console and/or account you bought it on, even after paying $70 for that shit. Don't worry, the casual gamer never really ends up breaking these rules, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. And before you ask, no, unfortunately, I don't know all these little specific rules, but since you're already here, I guess I can give you a couple. If you bought the game from a third-party website using stolen credit cards or game keys, that's terms of them taking the license agreement away from you. And the other one I have for you states that you cannot resell or transfer the game to others. I'm pretty sure a few gamers have done these things already, and I haven't heard of anybody's license getting revoked. But please, be careful, you never really know when it will happen, and if it does, it can happen again at any time. Just like when game devs out of nowhere decide to shut down your favorite games or servers. Some prime examples, we have Hyperscape, Friday the 13th, Nintendo 3DS and Wii U's online servers, Concord, not like anyone was going to miss it, Overwatch 1, as everybody was forced to download its sequel, PlayStation Home, but nobody really knows about that one. If you do, you're an OG. I love you. But the list can go on and on. Shit, what's the point in gaming if you don't even know your game is going to be finished when it comes out? Oh, I got plenty of examples for this one. Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, Metal Gear Survive, WWE 2K20, Anthem, Marvel's Avengers, Battlefield 2042, Mass Effect Andromeda, Final Fantasy XIV Launch, did you forget? Aliens Colonial Marines, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and so much more to come, trust me. Now you would think, right, the flack these publishers and developers get for releasing these games in such terrible states would make other, devs and publishers kind of do better? No. Or maybe it did. But you see, The difference between gaming now and back then was that a launch was final. Now, when somebody puts out a game, they could just tweak it and fix it and just pretend the whole thing didn't fucking happen. And there's few corporations and studios I respect, like Valve, because what did they do? Put out bangers. What about Nintendo? Put out bangers. What about Naughty Dog? Put out bangers. We're living in a time where your single-player games can come out looking like shit, and you're just gonna have to wait until the devs clean up their mess, or rather even hope they clean up their mess at all in some cases. There hasn't been a promise for that either. But let's say you make it past all that, right? You get your free, polished multiplayer game that is a whole lot of fun and you just can't put it down. One thing publishers didn't understand some years ago was that one-time purchases wasn't the way to max out your profit. No it wasn't. So they all learned the golden strategy. I kind of scratched on this topic earlier, but now it's time to hammer down. Why strive for one-time purchases when you can drip-feed dopamine spikes and small content for an eternal flow of money? Yes, this is the free-to-play experience, where the main objective is to get you whipping out your wallet every 5 seconds. I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite snippets from articles I've read on how free-to-play games trick their gamers into spending money constantly. Number 1. The slow bleed. It's what they call it, because it mainly focuses on those smaller purchases you make, like that new Sue Storm skin you just had to have. Before you know it, every female character in the game has an abundance of these skins you just can't live without, racking up bills worth of money from your name. Number 2. FOMO. The fear of missing out. You know, when your favorite game and favorite anime do a collab and those really cool skins are only there for a month and they will never be available again ever, so get it now or you will never have it in the future. Get it now, by the way. And number 3. The sunk cost fallacy, which pretty much sums up the psychology of money spent versus the time you spent on the game already. You've invested so much time into this free game, why not just spend a little $5 for that skin that looks a little cooler than the rest? Technically, you really only spent $5 on this game, and you'll keep saying that same excuse over and over and over again for every small purchase you make just to justify the time you spent. We've covered publishers taking your money, you not actually owning your games, companies not caring about your experience, you know, the whole debacle. But before I turn you loose, before I let you go, I have one last change I think you'll like the most. And I just want to say, before I get on with it, thank you for making it this far, really. Please drop a like and a subscription. This is probably the biggest project I've ever done on this channel. It's taken up a lot of time from me, and I'd really appreciate if you just give it a little bit of support. Without further ado, the last, most drastic change gaming has seen over the years is undoubtedly you. You've had excellent games in the past, but if they were created now, let's be honest, a lot of us wouldn't be so forthcoming. The games weren't the only thing that's changed, the gamers have as well. Back in the day, we were really satisfied with what we got. Gaming wasn't so big, so any leap in the future direction was always welcome. Now it kinda seems like we've reached the pinnacle, and what everybody wants is bigger and better. I keep seeing people ask for sequels to games that don't even need them, and I'm going to leave that statement there as it is to let that sink in. Another thing is the rise of content creation and stream culture. How multiplayer gamers always want to be the best of the best or even win the majority of their games, while people in the past were just happy to be there. Do you hear the difference? While we know gaming has taken turns we don't necessarily enjoy, I also know that a part of that was due to what the consumers wanted. Truth be told, we as gamers have the right to accept what is acceptable and to banish what isn't. We all just have to get on the same page. But with that, my name is Monster, and hopefully I'll be talking to you later. Stay easy.